And get started. Today's meeting is going to kind of be a little bit informal, and I'm going to kind of want to like look at you in the eyes and say, yes, do you hear me? Yes. Do you hear me? Yes. Okay. So it's Team Cup month. And if you're a new coach, if this is your first time doing Team Cup, that can seem a little overwhelming. It can seem a little weird because you are your own CEO. This is a 1099 business, all that kind of stuff. So what I want to just, Olga, you're in two places. I don't get it. What I want to tell you guys is that you're not the only one that feels that way. You're not the only one that feels like, I don't want to let somebody down. You're not the only one that feels that that you might be overwhelmed during this process. But I do want to encourage you to do two things. The first one is find someone on your Team Cup team to check in with daily. Okay? Check in with them daily. Let's say that Nicole and I are going to check in with each other, and literally this is how it would go. Hey, Nicole, how's your day going? I've got blah, 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 blah going on. I feel like blah, 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 blah. Check back with me when you can. Okay? It said nothing about the number of invites. I said nothing about the number of connections. I said nothing about my workout that day. I said, how are you? This is how I am. Check back with me when you can. That is the very foundation of building a success partner relationship. If all you're concerned about is numbers of checking things off on a list, then write a list. But if you want somebody to be there and to support you, and then you return that favor, that is the definition of accountability. That is what works in this business. And so if you can start building that accountability with somebody on your Team Cup team, think about how you're going to translate that into the people that you sign up during the month of August. How many people are afraid to fail somebody that they sign up? Me too. Me too. Guess what? I had a lady she called me on the phone. Like, I call people, so I don't think that's a big deal. But when people call me, that's a huge deal. I had a lady call me. She had signed up with me in March, I believe, and she had just completely fallen off the face of the earth. She called me yesterday, and she says, I want to get back on the Shaco train. I've changed jobs. This is happening. This is happening. I'm not comfortable in my own skin, and I need your help. Okay. I could have ignored that phone call. I could have kicked her out of the wellness group or the Fight the Funk group. I could have beat myself up because she went inactive on my discount coach list. But you know what? I kept doing my journey. I kept doing my workouts. Hey, I meal prepped tonight. I am super proud. That's 2 weeks in a row, baby. I kept drinking my Shaco, and I kept posting and sharing my journey. And you know what? She hopped back on. She posted in the wellness group tonight. She made feta chicken with green beans, and she did a UV2 workout. I didn't fail. Sometimes people aren't ready, right? You wouldn't be on this call if you weren't ready. You got it? You're ready. You're ready for your journey, and you're ready to help other people on their journey. Flat out, you're ready. So own that. I want to hear everybody unmute themselves and say, I'm ready. Come on.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Like you guys, we have to take a positive and fun role with this Team Cup. If you think that I can't get 3 people, no way I can get 5. You know what? You're freaking right. You are right. You can't get them. You're not going to go cherry pick those people out. I'm going to inspire 3 people to join me. I'm going to inspire 5 people to join me. Does that make sense? I'm going to touch 3 lives. We have to change the way we think. If we think we can't, we are right. If we think I am going to do my best and here is how I'm going to do it, we set ourselves up to be successful. Crap might happen. Who has done everything they could to make their lives easy and crap still happens? Your Beachbody business is no different. It's not the business. It's just life, right? It's just life. And so now with Team Cup and everybody coming together, when Lisa's life deals her lemons, instead of Lisa being all alone dealing with those lemons and complaining to Keith that woe is me, blah, 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 Lisa can come and say, Kate, this is what's happening. And I can say, that really sucks. Here's how I would think about it. And give her a different perspective. That's what a team does, is it gives different perspectives on how to deal with similar crap. Okay? Now, let's talk about the shift in our posting. The energy in your posting has to go up. The energy in what you're in the message that you're trying to send has to be a high energy. You have to smile more in your pics. You have to change up your pics. You have to change up your videos. People don't want to see the same thing every single day. I mean, who gets tired of that freaking Law and Order intro? I wish they would change that thing. Like, that's what you want to do when you're scrolling through your own. If you're not auditing your own Facebook feed every single week, you do not care about what you're putting out there. Flat out. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm just going to say it. You don't care. I check my page every day. How does that look? How does that look? How does that look? How does that look? Wow, that was rushed. I'll call myself out all the time. That was a rushed post. That wasn't thought out very well. I know how I'm going to adjust that and use something similar to that on Transformation Tuesday. You can get ideas from yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah? Who's excited? Who's excited? Like, just having that one woman call me yesterday and be like, I want to get back on Shaco. And seeing one of my other clients that had fallen off, she got back active the other day. She just had a baby. She's like, I'm ready to go. Like, that's what I want you to think about when you get scared about signing somebody up. They might not be ready once they sign up. They might fall off. But it's you from this day forward showing up day in and day out that it's not only going to inspire people to become your challengers now, but to continue to be your challengers in the future. I'm going to tell you one more story about that same woman that contacted me. She told me a very personal family story, very personal about her son. And in the middle of the story, she said, I don't know why I'm telling you this. And I said, I don't know why you're telling me this either. But this is what, sorry, she just messaged me. This is what online coaching is. It's a safe spot. I don't know her people. She even went in and started saying, you coach all of my friends. And she was looking at our mutual friends list. And she started reading off names. I'm like, no, I don't work with that person. No, I don't work with that person. No, I don't work. I'm like, no, those are mutual friends. Like, I had to explain it to her. People don't understand what we do. They don't get it. You have to tell them that we're just there. We're just there. She's like, well, how do you know those people? I don't. The beauty of social media, we have reach in so many places. How many of you feel like no one knows what you're doing or understands what you're doing? Guess what? That's your fault. Guess what? You can change that really, really easy. How many of you know what I do because of my posts? right? Guess where I learned how to post? My coach. How many of you look at my posts and say, I could never do that? Yeah? I could never be that real. I could never be that honest. I could never post a picture of myself in that position. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I had a person come up to me. We went out to the local pub at Lee Summit last night for some live music, me and my roommate. I had a girl come up to me and say, she goes, you're just so inspiring. A girl I went to high school with, you know her, Lisa, Emily Teeters. She came up and she's like, you're just so inspiring, so inspiring. And I was like, if it helps one person, think about that. If what you're going through helps one person, why not? Why not? You're going through it anyways. Does pushing it under the rug make it go away? Does it make it less real? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. What it does is it makes you come off as fake and better than the other people out there. We're not. We're here to help. We are here to find solutions. And guess what? Why don't we find solutions to our own problems first? I was useless to people before I started diving into personal development. Olga is the one that said in May, Kate, don't help anybody. That's okay. You don't have to help anybody. She knew I had to deal with me before I could help anyone else. June, hell of a lot better month. Helped a lot of people. July, same thing. And I'm pumped for August. My water challenge that starts tomorrow, they're not just getting water. They're getting personal development. They're getting an affirmation they say every single time they take a sip of their water, right? Paying it forward, passing it on. I want you to unmute one at a time. I'll go ahead and call out just because it's easier that way. I want you to say one habit that's changed since your coach or Beachbody or Shakeology or the programs have entered your life. What's one habit that's changed for the better in your life? For me, hands down, it's personal development. Shando, what do you think? I got you. I can't hear you, but you're unmuted. You're good. Now I can hear you.
Okay. All right. One thing. I think it's more of keeping more of a positive energy towards things, positive outcome. And, yeah.
I agree with that 100%. The story you told me this week, I didn't know that girl. That girl did not exist before this. 100%. All right. Olga, what you got? I unmuted you. I'm just unmuting everybody.
I take my morning pills every day now. I didn't do that. I only did that twice in my life for the last 12 years, and that was only when I was pregnant because I was taking care of somebody else. So now I take care of me.
I remember one of our first conversations, that was on your goal board.
Yeah.
Was to take your medication when it was supposed to happen.
I ordered my refill today on the 29th day. So that's exciting for me.
Congratulations. That's really awesome. Lisa, what's one thing that's changed in your life?
Being mindful of what I'm putting in my body, what I'm eating, especially when I go out to eat.
Yeah. What would you normally have ordered, and what do you order now?
Normally anything fried and greasy and dripping with condiments. And now I'm more, what kind of greens or veggies can I get in? Can I get veggies instead of the fries? As much as it pains me to say that, I'm not going to lie. I still have to do it because I don't want to ruin everything.
Yeah. And I think that what you said, as much as it pains me to do that, like, I think that is the kicker in the post. Because you can go and say, oh, look, I chose vegetables instead of fries. And you're going to get a whole audience that is like, that sucks. Don't want to be that. But if you're saying it was a hard decision, it's something that I've struggled with for 30 years. It's something that I wouldn't have done 6 months ago. It's something that even when I was working out at 9 Round and stuff like that, my eating still got the best of me, you know, but you put that out there that, dude, it's not always easy. And then they see that you're still doing it. That's the connection. Like, that's the realness in an everyday post that's got to come through. Does that make sense? And we can't, like Shandy says that her energy is changing. Shandy has been like pushing, trying to push her business forward months and months and months. And we audit her social media regularly. Like, I take snapshots of Shandy's posts regularly, and I would send them to her probably 2 months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago. And I was just like, you can't say this stuff. Like, it was just coming across as really negative and really tired and really just low energy. And she has completely reversed it. You know, she was trying to clue people into her life, but it was coming off as kind of complaining and whining. And now when she flips it, that, you know, she's eating in the car and on the run and getting to spend time with her family and, you know, working multiple jobs, and that's just kind of what her family does and stuff like that. It's got more of an upbeat feel to it. But so does she. You know, she's not just putting the words out there. There is that life and that energy behind it. So when you're thinking about how to write the post, you do have to live it. You do have to have the actual realness and energy behind it. There is no like special word guide that we can give you that says these are high energy words. Use those, because people are going to see right through that, and they're not gonna feel it. Another thing that we learned this at Summit and that leadership workshop. If you are like, today I went in, and I didn't do it today, but I should have, in my post, my transformation post about food, about how I used to fear food for my results. Going to Google and typing in the keywords that you're going to do a post about, that's going to pull up the words that people search most related to that topic. So if you want to do a transformation post, going into Google and typing transformation, and you're going to get a bunch of different words that pop up related, not like a thesaurus, but just what people type in when they're searching transformation. If you want to do something about clean eating, you know, typing in that, you're going to get a bunch of different words. So if words are hard for you, Google is easy. Or at-home workouts is another one. At-home fitness, different things like that to search. I thought that was some really good tips that I picked up from that leadership workshop. So, all right, moving on. Nicole, what is one big thing, I'll unmute you, that's changed in your life?
In the past couple of weeks with coaching, I've like really reconnected a lot of friendships and other relationships that I probably otherwise wouldn't have. I kind of like after college just kind of stopped talking to my college friends because life got busy. And now like reconnecting those friendships, maybe one day they'll potentially be a challenger, but right now just focusing on getting back into friendships that I kind of lost is really kind of been a personal gain, I guess, for me. That
is awesome. I think that should be your Monday motivation post. Wonderful. Honestly, like, yeah. Maybe I will help these people in the future. Maybe I won't. It feels good in this moment. Mm-hmm. You can see it on your face.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool. Congrats.
Thank you.
Heather, what's one big thing that's changed in your life?
Probably just focusing on instead of everybody else. That's like I'm like usually the last thing I take care of today, and trying to be one of the first things that I take care of.
Man, you don't relate to your coach at all.
Exactly, I know.
Right? Well, congrats.
All that pretty much there.
I looked at her picture today, her side-by-side picture, and I was like, I remember that woman. I remember her. She's not there anymore. It's crazy. Julie, what's one big thing that's changed in your life?
I would say probably nutrition. Having to change that so much, but doing that for me and knowing how much better I feel now that I'm eating what my body wants and needs, and I'm sorry, what my body needs versus what my body wants. My mind wants.
Absolutely. We talked about that a lot on Friday, so that's awesome. I love it. All right, Melissa B. Melissa, what's your last name?
Brian.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Sorry.
You're all good.
All right. It's Brian. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yay. My last name is Brian. And I'm on my phone, and every time I get a text, my service goes really shitty. So
Your question is, what has changed the most in your life since Beachbody, your coach, etc.?
Okay. Hold on just a second. Do you want to start bringing stuff and loading it in here? We're getting ready for a big cleaning thing tomorrow, so I'm sorry. Biggest change for me would be confidence. I used to be a really big social butterfly, and then I had a series of really bad relationships that I became a really scared hermit. So being a coach, you have to talk to people. So the talking thing is really scary, but I do it, and now I'm like, I go to the store and I'll just start talking to random people. My husband's like, okay, I know that you're a social butterfly, but kind of a hermit, and you just talking to random strangers. It's kind of weird, but whatever.
Well, I think that's great. And I'm going to share. Go ahead.
And, and I don't live on my couch anymore.
100%. I love that. Melissa, you can go ahead and do what you need to do, girl. I'll go ahead and mute you again. I just want to kind of give you guys a background. She messaged me today, and her coach is quitting the business, and her coach just kind of dropped the ball on her, and she said, you know, she just kind of reached out and asked for some advice, and so I invited her to our team call and said, you can message me whenever you need to, and so she's here, and I think that that's awesome. I think that's another great thing about this community is, yeah, people are going to quit. People are going to go in different directions. That doesn't mean that they haven't connected you to a really solid group of individuals that do care. So if you ever feel like, you know, hey, maybe your coach is dropping the ball, because, hey, I drop balls. There are plenty of people out there to reach out to and say, I need some help. And if they don't get back to you, then keep reaching out. Melissa didn't only reach out to me. She reached out to several people. But today, my messenger went off, and I said, I can help this girl. Right? It took her being that social butterfly. She took her business, she took her business into her own hands and went and found help. That's pretty inspiring. Jenny, what's one big thing that's changed since you joined Beachbody?
I would say just being more active and getting off the couch and getting out of the house more, playing with the kids more.
It's pretty cool. I wouldn't think that's a small thing by any means. Not by any means at all.
It's not.
That's pretty cool. You guys doing okay?
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay, good. All right, Vanessa, can you talk or can you not talk? Is she momming?
I can talk.
Okay. What's one big thing that's changed for you, girlfriend?
I'm not as big of a bitch as I used to be.
What
Just
did you say?
as big.
You're kind of cutting out.
I said I'm not as big of a bitch as I used to be. I'm still one, but not a whole lot, not as much.
Coming in loud and clear. All right. I like it. I like it. All right. So we've all had big changes come into our life, whether it's what we put in our food or the food we put in our face, the pills we take every single morning, the new people, the old people that we've reconnected with, the people that we talk to at the grocery store. I talked to the guy at the Middle Eastern restaurant that I ate at today, and he gave me free ice cream, and it had rose water in it, and I ate it because it was free and it was ice cream, and I'm going to own that because it was super yummy. But yeah, don't wake up and think, I can't do this. If you're waking up saying that you can't, again, you're absolutely right. I've got affirmations on my bathroom. I've got my journal and my 2 books that I open first thing every single morning. And you might be thinking in your head, that's not for me. That's not for me. I just want to start knocking off my to-do list. I just want to get my workout in. Look at my arms. I do a lot of workouts, right? Right? But you don't get arms like mine without doing a lot of workouts. It got nothing done up here. It kept everything just below the surface enough for me to just continue life, but not enjoy it. And not truly, truly be able to help people. Does that make sense? Don't put this work off. This is the most important work you can do. It will save your marriage. It will save friendships. It could possibly even save lives. It literally saved lives. And that is something to be extremely passionate about. And it's something to be emotional about. And it's something to be fired up about. Raise your hand if you have a success partner. Okay. It is your job to contact either someone on your current Team Cup team or me and say, Kate, I need help finding a success partner. And I will do my little magic, and we will start finding people for you. At the end, does it need to be somebody on your Team Cup team? No. Do they need to be a Beachbody coach? Yes. Other people don't get what we do. It can't be your husband. It can't be your husband. You got me? It cannot be your spouse. It has to be somebody that is a coach that understands that understands how exhausting messaging is. Messaging, when you're doing it and you're doing it right, it will drain the hell out of you. Posting, when you're doing it right, it will rack your brain. It will. Working out, eating clean, when you're doing them consistently, you will feel good. And no one really wants to talk to you about that unless they're doing it too, because they feel guilty. So you can't go and share all this awesome stuff that's happening about how much more clarity you have and how you feel good and how you're like, you looked at yourself in the mirror and you had to do a double take. People that are on the journey, they don't really get it. My success partner gets it. Like when I want to brag about something that I did, or about, now that I can wrap my feet, my hands all the way around my heels when I go for, to just stretch my hamstrings and stuff like that. Like, she gets excited with me. Thank you. I mean, she gets excited with me. We're talking on the phone when I'm in the car, and I'm like, hey, I can grab my heels when I do that heel stretch. And she's like, no way. Like, it's a little piece that keeps me going. Last thing, vision. Olga posted in the team page the Lindsay Matway 5-day creating your vision board thing. Raise your hand if you've never actually completed a vision board. Raise your hand if you kind of think vision boards are bullshit. Raise your hand if you think that looking at a board every freaking day is going to help you actually pay off that credit card. Loser. Raise your hand if you think that looking at a board is actually going to get you that Ferrari that you want in your driveway or that zero mortgage. I don't. But you know what? Very successful people do. And they keep talking about it. And they keep posting about it. And I am not a Lindsay Matway fan. Her hair and my hair, they don't look very similar. Her life and my life, they don't look anything alike. And I just don't connect with the Bombshell dynasty at all, except for when she got up on stage at the leadership workshop. And here's what Lindsay Matway said to start her workshop. Stand up if you've lost a diamond. I stood up. Stand up if you've lost 2 diamonds. I stood up. Stand up if you've lost 3, 4, 5. I've lost 5 diamonds in my 2-year career. Okay? That's a 5-star diamond bonus. What is that, Olga? That's what, $5,000, something like that? I think it's close to like between $5,000 and maybe $7,500 bonus. Like, I've lost some significant income because people don't stick with this business. So I stopped standing after 5. She goes on to, 5, 10, 15, 20 people are still standing. She goes, how many of you have lost 67 diamonds? And she had 2 of the founding coaches in the front row still standing. And she goes, sit your asses down. I checked with corporate and I'm the winner. And so she knew that she had the most. And some of those coaches had been elite. Some of those coaches had, really seen a lot of success in this business. And so if she's losing that much, it's just based on the number of years and the amount of time that she's put into it. I mean, I know Olga's lost so many people that works at Culver's. The turnover rate is high. I know that Lisa's worked at several different schools since she's graduated, college. She's looking for something else. What we have right here in this business, you have the freedom to work it whenever you want. That is also a curse in itself because no one's there saying, work it, work it, work it, work it. Unless you find that right success partner. Not unless. When you find that right success partner, it's a lot easier. Okay? 2, the whole focus is making yourself healthier and better all the way around. That's not a fad. That's something your significant other and your children would cherish for the rest of their lives, is a mom that truly, truly loves herself because she'll have even more love for them. 3, the friendships that you get. I see 2 girls on this call that I went to high school with. Another girl on this call married a guy I went to high school with. It connects you back. And then I see 1, 2, 3, 4, I see 5 faces I would have never, ever met because of this. And one of those faces, she takes her pills every morning now. She's becoming healthier. Another one of these faces, she figured out she's allergic to something she used to eat every single day, and now she's not sore anymore. Another one of these faces is dealing with something that is so painful right now. And she's sitting here on this call, and I've seen her smile a couple of times. Not sure what she would be doing on a Sunday night after dealing with a huge loss like she's dealing with. And she showed up. It's a big deal. You know how I can connect basically all of you in the meeting that I'm holding and just my ramblings on is because I know you. I don't want you to go anywhere. What I want is I want you to go grab people and say, come into my community. Come feel what I feel. Come have people care about you like I have people care about me. And then we make this, instead of a 9-person screen, we make it a 99-person screen of women sitting. People look at me like I'm a crazy person when I say I have a meeting every single Sunday night at 9 p.m. No, I can't do that. I've got to be on a call at 9 p.m. And you're working at 9 p.m. on a Sunday? It's when my girls like it. We've tried to bump it earlier. We've tried to have it on Mondays. We're 9 p.m. Sunday girls. You figure out what works for your tribe, right? And you stick with it. So go find some 9 p.m. Sunday girls, or 10 p.m. if you're Lisa, or some night owls. None of us are alike. We don't all have the same hair. We don't all live in Florida and drive Porsches. But we give a shit. We show up. And that's huge. So when you go to do every single one of your posts this month, not this week, not tomorrow, this entire month, 30 days, at least 3 a day. Yes, I'm setting requirements. Ask yourself, am I speaking to somebody that I can help? Am I sharing enough about my journey that someone is going to be able to say, me too, and feel comfortable reaching out to you? I don't want you to come off as knowing it all, but know very specific things that can help a very specific set of people. Does that make sense? Secondly, does it come off happy and high energy? Does it come off happy and high energy? That girl that I was talking about that came up to me at the bar and said, I have no idea how you share all that you share. You know what else she said? I love reading it. I love reading the positive things that you write on social media because everybody else is whining about their lives. That's what she said. Her words, not mine. Everybody else is whining about their lives. Be different. Be weird. Do you know, my sister calls me crazy Aunt Kate. My sister. You know, it doesn't always feel good. It's not something that always I'm like, yeah, ha 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 ha, and I can laugh it off. Sometimes it hurts. But you know what? Crazy Aunt Kate, I can own it. Because I'm crazy because I do talk to people in the grocery store. Because a kid was running out of Old Navy the other day yelling, Mommy, 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 Mommy. And I yelled, I'm not your mommy. And the kid just died laughing. And if that makes me crazy because I made a kid laugh, okay. If Melissa's crazy because she talks to people in the grocery line, I think she's cool with that. You know? Shandy didn't mind at all when I was talking to every single Uber driver down in New Orleans. It's just what I do. Find what you do. It might be weird at first, but you'll get used to it. And the last thing, go through your posts every single day and send gratitude messages. It is not something that I've been doing regularly. It is something that I was doing regularly when I was hitting huge Success Club numbers. And huge for me is 20 and above, just so that's clear. It's not like I was in the hundreds or anything like that. But if you're not sitting down and sending thank you messages every single day, and if you don't know what to say, message me. Message me right after the call if you have no idea what to say for a gratitude message. But you go through every post and you go through every single like and you say, thank you for supporting my journey. You have no idea how much it means to see the engagement, to see engagement, or to see your support, or just, just a blanket statement. Just thank you. People will respond. And for those of you that are afraid to send messages, afraid to say something wrong, how many of you would be offended by a gratitude message? You wouldn't. They're easy. They strengthen your inviting muscle without actually having to invite. They strengthen your conversational muscles by starting a conversation that everyone wants to have. Everyone wants to be appreciated. And if all they had to do to be appreciated by you was to push a little thumbs up sign on Facebook, you're probably going up in their list of people to follow. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She just sent me a message because I liked her post. All she was doing was sitting at the beach. What's not to like? Does she get to go to the beach every day? Start following you. How many of you think it's weird to have a Facebook following? If you think it's weird, raise your hand. I don't think it's weird anymore. I had someone stop me in Target today. I was racing around like a crazy person trying to find ice and cups and towels. I was going to this paddleboarding thing. And she's like, Kate. She's like, I follow you on Facebook. Well, thank you. I wish I would have had time to stop and talk to her. I didn't. I said, I gotta go. That's nice. Send me a message. It's not weird. It's literally what's happening in 2017. Stop thinking about what you wanted to be when you graduated high school in 2004 and 1994 and 1984, whenever you graduated high school. Stop thinking about what you were supposed to be then and embrace what you are now. Lisa Lampin, is there any way you thought we'd be on a video conference at the age of 31?
No, not at all.
Here we are, right? Own it. So everyone, get out your cell phones, or if you're on your cell phone, then grab your husband or your significant other's cell phone and take a picture of your Sunday night crew. And smile because I'm taking pictures of you. And then you start taking pictures of everything that you do. And when you don't, like I didn't of paddleboarding today. Shandy, you're a nerd. I didn't have paddleboarding today. Ah, crap. Sorry. It always does that. Oh, get away. Okay. I didn't have paddleboarding. I went live on my Facebook video, and I said, I'm not going to show you everything. It's okay not to show everything. Okay? It's okay. But if you feel like what you're doing, somebody could say me too, then shame on you for not sharing it. Shame on you for not positively impacting that life as best as you possibly could. Understood? All right. First things first, find yourself a success partner. Reach out to me or your coach to do that. Thank you for hopping on. I will post the recording as soon as I possibly can. Have a great night. Bye.